Diamond ranked Swordsoul versus Hero we got right here. Swordsoul will be piloted by yours truly, one of the strongest decks on the ladder. The deck is so consistent, so great at going first, so great at going second, and up against Hero. Now Hero is a very strong rogue deck, right? It has decent plays going first. You do have the option to go into Dark Law, but the big contender for this deck is to go second and just OTK your opponent. With that said, our opponent Reds does choose to go first. Now looking at my hand, I do have Maxi, which can stop a plethora of plays from Hero. I do have the Ecclesia to go first, and I do have the Tiny Spears to combo off with that. So while I don't have a Swordsoul, I have enough to get going for next turn, right? So perfect hand for going second. So with that, our opponent's going to go ahead and start off, and they're going to start off with a Hero Lives, paying half their life points. I see that in 100% no. Oh my god. If you're going to play a Hero Lives, fine. Pay half your life. I'll draw a card for it. Max C every time they special summon, I will draw a card off this. Now, the point of really doing that, well, obviously, yes, you do want a Max C frame 1 there. I'm hoping to kind of bait out an Ash Blossom. The reason why is looking at my hand, the only card that can really do all my plays correctly is the Ecclesia, right? And Ash does unfortunately get eaten by that. So even if he did Ash the Maxi, that's fine. That's fine, I can play Ecclesia. But with that, our opponent's going to just give us a 1 draw into Ash, fantastic card follow-up, or if he has Maxi, and he's going to pass. So looking at that, I'm going to go ahead and draw. Looking at this hand, I'm going to go ahead and bring out the Vishuda to start our combo off. Special, not normal. We're going to go ahead and special the Ecclesia. Ecclesia affects tribute. I'm trying to feel what cards he has in his hand right now. So anyway, Ecclesia is going to bring out the Mo Yi. Mo Yi revealed to get token. I will go into the Swordsoul level 8 Synchro, which will add. Now, here's the thing. While I was doing this play, I was aggressively trying to find out what he had in hand, right? So when I summoned Vishuda, no response. When I summoned the Mo Yi, no response. The one thing I noticed is on the summon of Grandmaster, he did have a response. Now, here's the thing with Swordsoul. Swordsoul is incredible for playing through hand traps, except for Nibiru. Now, Grandmaster is summon number 5, correct? So with that said, there's almost a 100% chance he has Nib in hand. So at this point, I can't really extend my plays unless I force out the Nib. So with that, I'm going to go straight to battle phase. Grandmaster swings in, and then the Vishuda swings in. So even if Vishuda does get nibbed here, that's okay. And we're going to set one, try to pass. He does nib. Now again, power of Swordsoul, we have not normal summoned yet. Not once. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get out the Long Young, discard the Teddy to bring it out, and bring out the token. We're going to synchro for a level 10 here. And with that, we're going to go into the Baron de Fleur, one of the most powerful generic synchros we have in the game right now. Long Young's effect here will burn for 1200. That will trigger the increase in graveyard to set in the spell and trap card zone. Does not matter. Baron de Fleur can once per turn pop a card on the field. Now remember, we haven't normal summoned yet, so we're gonna go ahead and normal summon out the Taya banish to bring out a token. We're gonna go for a level 8 synchro here. Out comes the Baxia. So Baxia on summon, up to the number of worm attributes used to bring it out, I can return those back to the deck, not to the hand, to the deck, which is critical in this matchup. Chain resolves here. Taya will dump any worm card. We're going to dump the Tiny Tuner just to kind of get that in the graveyard. We're going to discard the... we're going to banish the other Tiny to bring back the Tuner. And with this, we're going to go for the level 9 Chao Feng. Now, here's the thing. How Chao Feng works is the other Yang Xing cards used to synchro this card out, your opponent's attributes that match it cannot activate. So in this case, the only Yang Xing we used was the light. So with that said, lights are now turned off from our opponent. And while yes, heroes do have a lot of critical dark and wind monsters, light is very key for a couple, specifically Sunrise and Honest Neos. And right now I'm kind of praying my opponent doesn't know that their light monster to turn off. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and banish the Tenyi to add these Mo Yi back to hand. If I get a Swordsoul or any worm card in my hand next turn, I can go ahead and go off here. My opponent's going to go ahead and Stratos here. Now, I am going to ash this. At this point, just strip his resources. That's all I have to do. If I strip the resources and prevent the big plays, I can pretty much wrap this up. I will go ahead and negate the Stratos. Now, Pharaohs does chain off here. It discards the Shadow Mist. I will negate this with Baron de Fleur. Now, that's my last interruption here. Both interruptions are gone. Ferris is negated. He only has one card left in hand. What can you do here? We're going to use the Shadow Mist to grab the Honesty Neos. And at this point, I was aware. He didn't read. He didn't read Chao Feng. And at this point, I have nothing to fear. Draw Ash for turn. Baron de Fleur. I'm going to go ahead and pop it. Ryan's on the wall. He kind of gets it. He's going to surrender. Looking back, this duel definitely could have ended in one turn. The two things I did forget is the life point count and the fact that I did draw Long Young for turn. I was so excited from seeing the Ecclesia. I was just totally focused on that. But yeah, so the big goal for this deck is to get Long Young and the token out on the field as fast as possible so you can synchro into the Baron de Fleur. Now, the Baron de Fleur would have stopped the Nib, and I could have played through an OTK'd. With my opponent only being at 4,000 life points, the correct play here would have been summon the Long Young by discarding the Vishuda, get the token, go out into the Baron de Fleur. From there, we can special out the Ecclesia because our opponent has 2 monsters. We only have 1. We can use Ecclesia there to bring out the Mogi reveal Shinada, go for the level 8, and from there we can pop their board and go for game. So, you know, it's fine. We still won, live and learn. You know, at the end of the day, it's why we do it. We do it for fun, and, you know, we get a little better each time. So anyway, this duel was a lot of fun. Great job to my opponent, and on to the deck profile. And here we go. Here's the Swordsoul deck. Not too many changes from last season. Overall, pretty standard list. The only big difference I made is, I don't know if anyone's been on ladder recently, but Adventure's a problem right now. that engine's everywhere. So for that reason, we are running the triple Ghost Ogre. But besides that, pretty standard list. So what we have here, we have the 1 copy of Despot 001. This is to get around the Auroradon play. The double Adhara, triple Maxi, 3 copies of the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Pretty standard, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 1 Shatana, 3 copies of Mogi, only 1 Taya, and only 2 Ecclesia. We have 3 copies of the Long Young, 2 copies of Vishuda, 3 copies of Ashuna, 1 Nib, just to give our Maxi a little bit more oomph in case we happen to draw into it. We have the double Pot of Desires, the triple Emergence, the double Twin Twisters, the double Call by the Grave, the double Circle, the triple Impermanence, and the 1 Blackout. That's for the main deck. Now for the extra deck, we have the 1 Yazi, the double Boxia, 1 Draco Berserker, 1 Adamantipator Risen, double Grandmaster, 1 Xiao Feng, 1 Baron de Fleur, 1 Swordsoul Supreme, 2 copies of the Monkatenyi, 1 Halki Fibrax, 1 Shaman, and 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. Y'all, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one. Bye!